Hey folks, so today we're going to be talking through rotations notes. Okay? A rotation is a transformation in which the figure is turned about a fixed point. That fixed point is called a center of rotation. Rays drawn from the center of rotation to a point in its image form an angle called the angle of rotation. And a rotation is a type of isometry which preserves the length of a segment. So basically, all an isometry is that an isometry preserves the distance, the length of a segment. Meaning, if you do an isometry to one object, you will have a congruent object after doing the isometry. So let's take this letter L and we rotate this 90 degrees. If you were to draw a ray to two corresponding parts, then you can see that there was a 90-degree rotation. Furthermore, you can see that it is a clockwise rotation because it has been rotated towards the right. Okay? A lot of people struggle with clockwise versus counterclockwise. So let's review. If I'm going clockwise, then that means I start at the top and I go right. But if you're down at the bottom, it kind of goes that direction. It kind of goes left, right? So, and if you're at, let's say 3, it kind of goes down, and if you're at 10, it kind of goes up. So clockwise just means the way the hand ticks on the clock, okay? So thus, counterclockwise, well, let's see what that means. If we took this and we rotated it down, same spot, we're going to get a 90-degree rotation there. And this time we've rotated it against the clock. So it was 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation. Okay? So let's assume for this problem that the center of rotation is at 0, 0. Okay, and it's asking us, what is the angle of rotation? Well, if I drew one ray to -1, 1, and I drew the other ray, that would result in a straight line. Now, a straight line, a lot of people have thought straight angle, right? Straight angles measure 180 degrees. So if a straight angle measures 180 degrees, and that's what the resulting vectors end up being, they result being lines. Actually, if you don't believe me, let's go on and do another one. Let's go from from the origin out to A, and then from the origin back to A prime. You see that red line? It's still, those are still opposite vectors, okay? So that's going to give you 180 degrees. So what is the angle of rotation? You can say 180 degrees. Now which direction? Well, either way. So 180 degrees clockwise or 180 degrees counterclockwise. As a matter of fact, when you're talking about 180 degrees, we don't typically even say this word because they're the same. And the center of rotation was the origin at 0, 0. Okay? Sometimes I'll say the word origin, sometimes I'll say 0, 0. In either case, it's the same word, or it has the same meaning. All right, so let's go to the next page. Okay, so this says to rotate the given figure 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. Remember, the origin is at 0, 0. And if it says 90 degrees clockwise, it'd be right, but this is counterclockwise. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my arrows around this. So basically this just means that my triangle should end up being in, let's number these quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this one should end up being in quadrant 4. Okay? So let's see what happens. The way I'd teach you how to rotate this is I would teach you to try and think about switching the X and Y, and then maybe just considering how you're counting. So if I count down 2, left 2, or on the axis, off the axis. Let's do that. On the axis, off the axis. So let's do that again on the right side. On the axis, off the axis. So we've went on the axis 2, off the axis 2, and that will be B prime. Okay, maybe it's a good time to pick up a new color, so that'll be B prime. So the next one, we're going to go down to point C. We're going to try and, so I apologize, I was interrupted for just a minute there, so I can't find out exactly where I was, but I assumed that I would be going down here to C, and it says on 5 and off 2. So let's go on 5 and off 2. That'll be C prime. And then let's do the same thing for A. Now it might be more convenient to come on 4, off 2. And we can do that. We're just going to rotate that L down here. On 4, off 2. On 4, off 2. That'll be A prime. And then you connect the dots with nice straight lines there. And then you can write down your coordinates. A becomes 2, -4. I'm sorry, A prime. B prime is 2, -2. C prime is 5, -2. Let's do the next one. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Now remember, clockwise is this direction. So if this triangle starts off in quadrant 3, its result is actually going to be up here in quadrant 2, right? So let's take a look at how we would do this one. So on the axis 4, off 2. So let's do that. On the axis 4, off 2. That'll be A prime. Let's go to B. On 2, off 2. Let's do that same thing. We're just rotating this little bracket looking thing. We're going to rotate it upwards. So on 2, off 2. That'll be B prime. And C looks like on 5, off 2. We'll go one axis over. On 5, off 2. C prime. Connect that with some nice straight lines. And then fill in the blanks. -2, 4. -2, 2. And -5, 2. Okay, for the examples, I'm going to shoot those on a separate video for you, just so you can give the examples a try without me. All right, take care.